violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
A family says they are not going to give up their search for justice for a beloved brother and friend who was brutally murdered 8 years ago.
69-year-old Bobby Ellis was shot and killed and his body burned beyond recognition.
Woo! Deleted, shot and deleted, body burned beyond recognition. This is 8 years ago. Still unsolved. Community completely silent. Nobody coming forward with information. This is the perpetual loop that we continue to have to live through in the community. Living in fear. Makes no sense.
This was on Detroit's west side back in 2015. Today's family once again pleaded for help to find his killer. Priya Mann joins us live with more on their message. Priya.
Kim, Devin, this victim was a military veteran trained to defend our country, but in the end, he couldn't defend himself against his killer. Now his family is speaking out, confident someone knows something.
He is gone, but his spirit is here.
More than 7 years after he was killed, the family of Robert Ellis is pleading for justice.
Share your information and help us to get justice. We're no longer looking for closure. Closure expired 5 years ago. And it's going on 8 years since my brother was brutally murdered.
The day before.
And this is what I'll say. When you do have the OGs, the old heads asking for justice, that justice is going to come a lot slower because, for one, we already know in the community, young black men, women, whatever you want to call it in general, they don't respect the OGs. So those are going to be the last to hear about the bodies that drop in the streets unless they're tapped in like a mama duck or something like that, where one of their babies is out here actually doing the murders. Then, you know, that they would know exactly who is deleting who, but they are not likely to speak up because they don't want to be seen as a snitch or they don't want to incriminate they baby.
For Christmas Eve in 2015, their lives were changed forever.
We want to stand up for Bobby Ellis to let him know that we haven't gave up.
The body of Bobby, or Blue as he was known, was discovered in the 19,000 block of Archdale Street between West 7 Mile and Cambridge Avenue on Detroit's west side.
It's a close-knit neighborhood. So people knew or either know what happened.
The 69-year-old had been shot to death and his body was burned. A neighbor on Archdale Street was starting his car when he smelled smoke. After moving his vehicle, the neighbor found the body and called police. Over the years, the case went cold and the family turned to Crime Stoppers for help.
We still miss him, we still love him, and you can rest assured we are not going to give up until justice has been served.
And the family is really hoping someone will do the right thing. As a reminder, you will remain anonymous if you call Crime Stoppers, and that reward money is paid out for information that leads to an arrest, not a conviction. That number, of course, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Yeah, okay, Priya, thanks.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga did Quavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pop.
Y'all kill me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take over
What
your
more do you want from me?
The family of a woman found dead in a field is speaking out tonight as the man charged with her murder is also charged with the murder of 3 other people.
Jonathan Welch was out on bond when prosecutors say he broke into his mother's home, killing his girlfriend, his mother, and his stepfather.
So, guys, remember we did this story on Jonathan Welch, the insane super gremlin who pretty much deleted his whole family. From my understanding, he actually was arrested in the first place for a domestic assault and then came back to the crib after being bonded out by his mother and went to delete the whole family, including his baby mama, his stepfather, and the mother. So, I mean, it's a very tragic situation. And if I'm not mistaken, I think his mother actually bonded him out. And then he goes and turns around and deletes her. So, I mean, it just goes to show what I've been saying the whole time. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Sean Lay, live with more on this. This new charge goes all the way back to June of last year, Sean.
It does, Devin and Kimberly. This is heartbreaking. It's also confusing. We're going to boil it down the best we can. We're talking about one defendant charged with 4 different homicides. In the middle of all that, a low bond was set. Before this, however, a young woman was killed. We're hearing from her family for the very first time tonight.
Once again, I'm mad as hell because things need to be changed.
A call tonight from the cousin of Natayla Morse, wanting all of us, from citizens to police to the courts, to be as vigilant as possible when it comes to domestic violence. Last June 4th, the 24-year-old was found beaten to death on Lenox Street in Detroit, her car set on fire nearby. The night before, neighbors saw a young woman being chased by a man. Could more have been done at that moment?
I'm not saying that she'll be with us today, but it's a chance that she could have been saved.
Fast forward all the way to this past March 21st, an arrest in Natayla.
Remember we saw this clip? Buddy sagging with no drawers on. You can't make this stuff up.
Natayla's case. Jonathan Welch now facing charges. Natayla's family did not know him, but knew him from news reports after Welch was arrested and charged with the deadly attack on his girlfriend, her mother, and stepfather in Harper Woods. Welch was out on what many consider a low bond for beating his girlfriend days before. Natayla Morse would be Welch's first alleged victim, then the case involving his girlfriend, where he was released on bond, then the attack on her family.
Had the system.
So that's what it was. He went in, deleted her family, not his own. Yeah, I thought I had that a little mixed up. But, I mean, all in all, it's still, this guy's a psycho. He deletes his girl and then deletes her family. I mean, look, we've been dealing with this on this channel and in the community for a long time. So I don't expect any of you guys to be surprised, but this is something that obviously, like this triple homie isn't as common, but the domestic situations obviously are more present in the black community than any other community, unfortunately, and you know they're ending pretty viciously.
Stepped up and put that bond a little higher due to the vicious crime that he did to the girlfriend, the mother, and the stepfather, along with the girlfriend. 99% of the chance, they probably would still be here today.
Back here live. Let's go back now to the Natayla Morse homicide. Welch will be in court in a few weeks on that. We're going to keep a close eye on that one because we may learn more information about how these two knew each other. The family says they had never heard of him until that Harper Woods attack, and now he has a presence in their life as well. They want to know how he knew LaTaylor.
Well, I mean, he was probably smashing. It's really that simple.
Back to you.
Great question. It's going to vex him for a long time. All right, Sean.
Tonight, a symbolic walk returns with an urgent message about gun violence. Good evening, everyone. I'm Taryn Asher.
And I'm Dave Spencer. The Walk for Hope kicked off in Detroit's University District. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin was there and is live for us tonight. Dave, was it well attended?
Yeah, it was, and I can tell you gun violence, the issue, as we know, is getting the attention of more and more folks. Politicians right now talking about it every day pretty much, and in this case it was parishioners talking about it, not just talking, but hitting the streets, demanding action. In 2023, you could say that the Walk for Hope march against gun violence in Detroit's University District means more than ever before. It started with prayer before hitting the streets, with more to pray about on this Good Friday, as gun violence shows no sign of abating.
We have the ability to transform, reform, and transfigure the world in which we all occupy.
Transform, reform, and transfigure. Too many trans for me. I'll pass.
That's Barbara Jones. Her son Conte was shot and killed in 2017. She has found strength amongst the Gezu Catholic Church membership, knowing she's not alone in her fight for change.
My son was murdered with an AR-15.
Notice how she couldn't get this type of solidarity from the community, and she essentially got it from old, elderly, Catholic, white men and women. Where are the brothers and sisters in the community where her son was killed with that AR-15?
Assault rifle. Shot 5 times. 5 times in the back, once in the arm, and once in the leg. My only son was 24 years old before we tragically lost him to gun violence. So to live it, to continue to live it, and to continue to witness how other parents, other mothers, other fathers, other family members deal with the loss of their children is something that you never get over, no matter how long it's been.
Organizers got the march back on track after a 3-year hiatus due to the pandemic. It's also a reminder of one of their own injured by gunfire.
When it started, it was a shock to our community that somebody had been shot. And, he made a miraculous full recovery. Thank you, God. So we're thrilled about that.
Now those demonstrators say they have more to say, making those statements on signs created before pounding the pavement. There's a renewed sense of urgency.
And the worst part about it is that these people were probably never worried about gun violence until the community opened up the floodgates of super gremlins after the pandemonium and have just opened up this culture or enabled this culture of lawlessness that's being justified by years of systematic oppression. When, I mean, the community have been acting up, but to this extent, at this volume, it's been a very long time. So, man, we're just going to have to buckle up and see what happens next.
Urgency, too, following so many tragedies like the mass shooting in Nashville just days ago. And, of course, no one has to look far for evidence of recent tragedy here at home.
We're pleased to be a part of something, to make a difference, and to also make a stand, especially right now in light of MSU and so much gun violence, and it just seems really out of control.
We all need the support. But we also need to come together to figure out how we are going to deal with this, how we're going to eradicate it.
Now we actually have another siren going off now. We don't know what that situation might be. We hope it's not another act of gun violence. Actually, we talked about this issue exclusively with the governor yesterday, and Governor Whitmer said she is pleased that the legislature has moved forward with safe storage laws and background checks. We'll keep you updated on all of those developments. In Detroit, Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Yes, and the time really is now, Dave, as you said, with everything that's going on with the school shootings, and we see what's happening with the violence erupting on the street. It is a step in the right direction. Like you said, you spoke with the governor. Are she expecting any more movement in the coming days and moving in the right direction?
Coming days, coming weeks ahead as well. Republicans in the legislature, though, have been pushing for more investment into mental health. They say that's a key issue for them, investing more into mental health issues, as that's been a part of this discussion as well, mental health treatment. So that's another side of the coin, too.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.